Okay, so I followed some instructions that I made up here. Let me put it like this, and I'll put it on my website. I'm pretty colorblind, guys, so you see, for example, I think it's a blue one, and I've written white next to it, just to the right of my thumb there. So that one, I know it's not white, yeah, it's just, otherwise you can't see it on the white card. But basically, I labeled up the DB2 interface. So this is, turn it round, this is assuming that way round. Yeah. So one is on the right, top right. I think we can even see it. Maybe. Yeah, I think one's on the top right, and then 3 and all the rest of it. Yeah. Let me just look at it myself. Hang on a second. Yeah, one's on the top right, and then 3, 5, and that corresponds with the nomenclature here. So you're looking into the socket. I checked my wires, and my wires, the brown is number 1, the orange is number 3, the red is number 14. So what I did was I used PowerPoint, and I did some colors and some freehand drawing to show I made a mistake on my, so what I did was on my circuit board I put black where the negative are. I don't want to connect to the negative, I want to connect to the positive. And I made a mistake on my board, on my board I put that round the wrong way. The red is definitely on the left there, yeah. You see it's different pattern to the others. So red's on the right and then it goes to the left, and that is correct, yeah. And so that would mean you've got a red there and a black, and of course the red there, I don't know what color that is. Is that brown? Let me get closer, I might be able to see it then. I'm going to say that's brown, yeah. So that one's going to pin 11, which is 1, 2 in from the top, 3 in from the top right, yeah. So I followed them through. Let me, this is the way around it would go, and I marked it up so that I would know which one's which. And now when I do this, if I do a gentle short across the pin, it's a bit hard to show it in this mode, I'll do it later when I've done better, then this effectively is pushing the button, yeah. Now I should be left with 6 spare ones at the minute. 13, 12, 1, 2, 25, I'm not using that. That goes into the box I'm going to make on the other end. So the tuner button doesn't need to be in here. This doesn't have the concept of it. What happens is on the other end, I'll use the pin 25, or it won't be pin 25. I'll use a pin on my other box, a physical box. I push it, and it sends a pulse to foot switch 1 and foot switch 2, which by the looks of it is the brown and the orange one, yeah. So it'd be pin 1 and pin 2 here. So that's the plan. And then here you see I've got the top and the bottom. This is what I'm going to send the quadrature to. So the quadrature will be as if you're turning the knob left or right, and therefore increasing or decrementing a value, yeah. So that's where I am at the minute. This soldering station, I'm going to make another video on it, I bought. Really good. A friend of mine had it. I already knew it'd be good, much better than the cheap ones. I'm not a very good solderer. I've done this in about half an hour. Where's it gone? Tin a little bit of blue tack just to hold something in position. Set that to 360 degrees. It keeps it nicely. The solder that came with it is pretty good, and it's done a good job. So I'm going to screw this in now. I've got to put a bit of card or paper around the back just to make certain nothing touches the metal box at the behind, but it shouldn't do. But I'll put paper around. These wires at the minute, I've splayed them apart so they're not touching. I'll put a bit more on top, and this will allow me to stop it from shorting. And I might use some more of these pins for something. I'm not sure what at the minute. But what I intend to do on the other end now is to wire up the momentary switches and get them working in isolation. And then it's time to drill into the cabinet. And the idea would be that most of the switches will do 1-to-1. I think I've got a piece of paper somewhere that shows it, but they'll do the 1-to-1 what it's supposed to do. So one switch will be a foot switch, one will be a memory switch, whatever. But then I'll put some page turner switches and things like that in there as well, which I can then use to send Bluetooth to a device and swap it. So anyway, that's kind of where I am with this thing. It's all good fun. Thank you for watching. Okay, it's time to put it back together again. And the first thing to remember is there are some tiny little screws. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's 2 types of screws. There's a smaller and a bigger one. Smaller ones go inside. There should be 7 of the bigger ones. and I think 4 of the smaller ones. Let's put the smaller one in first, use my magnetic bit. So that goes in there. Yep. And 1 in each corner, I think. Maybe there was another one somewhere for this, but I don't think so. That's held down. So 4 of those go in. Oh, and these little metal clips go in as well. I'll show you one. They have a little tang that goes in like so, and then that allows you to get it to stand off the board, the metal. So that's that. I don't think there's a 5th one. Let me have a quick look. Sorry. Doesn't look like it. Oh, I've got a spare one. So now, ideally, I would like to put a little bit of tape on each of these things. So I'll do that now whilst I'm here, just to stop it from touching the metal. I could use a piece of card or paper, and I might actually do that. Might be a really good idea for me to put a piece of paper in that has the circuit layout. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll print one of these like real size, stick it in. Otherwise I think I'll always be wondering what went where. Another one across there. Another one there. And a strip along here. Well, that'll do along there like so. Stick down. Another little one there. And one on the front. Okay. And now I got to hot glue the other side of this in at one point. That should be all right like that. Those have been stuck down so they splay but don't touch. There's the piece of metal. It looks like it's going to go in. This is good. So now let's pick the screws up with this thing. Get one in. Come on. It's supposed to be magnetic. Right, put that like that. These are different size heads. So what I'll do is I'll just lay the things in the right area. Go on, get in there. Interesting. Let me just pause this and put this in by hand, see how we get on. Okay, so I just put them vaguely in position, hand tight, just as a final test before I power it, before I put it in. Let's put an input in. Yeah, the zoom's coming up. Zoom. Yeah, it's doing something. That's good. Cool. That's working. So now what I'll do is I'll screw it up, and then I'll test what happens if I short some of these pins. It should have the same effect as pushing the buttons, and then I'm going to build the proper circuit and the proper box. So hang on a minute, let me do that. Okay, so we've got the wire coming off the back of the 0 volt. So if I just move that up a bit manually, if I click this in, it should be the same as moving to the left. Yep, see we went back through black opt, ZNR. So now what's to be done is to check that one should be going the other way, I think. No, that one's going the other way, isn't it? There you are. That goes up, that goes down. Yep, so the pin 1 goes down, pin 2 goes up. What does pin 3 do? See if I can work it out. 3 should turn the rhythm on in theory. Let's see if this works. There, rhythm's on. Yep. Did you see that? I don't know if I can make that very well. What should turn the looper on? That's the purple wire on this diagram here. So the purple wire should turn the looper. And oh my god, too many colours. Like, it's been on the underground, guys. If you're an American tourist, don't ask me the underground. I give you the wrong directions. I know it like the back of my hand, but I can't tell the colours. Purple, 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 purple is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in from the end. So assuming that's still got connection, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, looper. Yep, did you see that? Looper, rhythm, looper. There. No. There. So that's it. That's looking good. Now it's time to make the box. Anyway, thank you for watching, and there'll be more parts of this. Thank you, and bye bye.